BetOnline, the world's most trusted betting platform, your number one source for sports betting. Every stat, matchup breakdown, live odds, and spreads to bet on during games, including Janai Broom over-under three-pointers that you will see Max Barr jumping up and down like an absolute maniac about. Plus, they have the largest catalog of odds on everything from football, MLB, NHL, NBA, to even political props. When the game's over, head on over to the online casino, play some blackjack or poker, plus over 150 slots games. Head to their website today, get on the action. America's most trusted site for online wagering. Bet online. The game starts here. All right, speaking of Texas A&M, NOB, Nate Oates Burner's in here. Max, he wants to know, what am I missing on Texas A&M? Consensus seems much higher than me on them.
Well, this is my team going into this year. This is my team.
Been ready for this speech for months.
This is my team. I have poured my offseason into this team. I'm back in the Aggies this year. I've got them third in my preseason rankings. I've got them third. Well, most people say it's not much, but they returned the most scoring in the conference. They returned 77% of their scoring from last year, so the continuity is nice. Everyone's saying they lost Tyrese Radford. They're done. Tyrese Radford did a lot for him. I'm not going to lie. But it was basically a 2-for-1 trade. It was Tyrese Radford for C.J. Wilcher and Zurich Phelps. Zurich Phelps is going to be the highest steal rate guy Buzz Williams has ever had. It's going to be a big boost to the defense. And then C.J. Wilcher, career 40% three-point shooter from Nebraska. And then in the front court, they traded Wildens Levesque for Farrell Payne, who was one of the best offensive rebounders in the Big Ten. So guaranteed, they're going to be one of the best rebounding teams in the nation, with one of the best point guards in the nation, with a better defense. I mean, I don't know. What am I missing? They have no shooting. They're going to
here's the problem. That's the pick I made last year too, and they just could not shoot. And if you guys remember,
they don't
into February, like, are they even going to get in the tournament? And then they turned it on, got hot, played pretty well. But I don't know. It's that night in, night out shooting consistency. And I don't. And look, we love Wade Taylor. I'm not trying to throw shade at Wade Taylor, but he's not, I don't think, going to suddenly jump up and be a 45% 3-point shooter.
We know Chris doesn't like Wade Taylor. Come on, folks. That's long established here.
They burned
channel.
Me last year. I picked them to win the conference. How much more love can you show someone than that?
Listen, they're not gonna shoot. They're not gonna need to shoot. They got this one thing. I'm trademarking it. It's called the Obaseki launch. Okay, it's when he gets a running start and jumps like a trampoline into whoever's guarding the basket, and it's either a layup or it's 2 free throws or it's an offensive rebounding every time. They're gonna rebound 50% of their misses. They don't need to shoot.
All right, I'm gonna give you some straight facts here. Okay, it's so funny to think about this now. The last 4 games that Texas A&M Aggies played last year, from March 15th to March 24th, 97-87, 95-90, 98-83, 100-95.
Yeah.
Now, that's a Buzz Williams coach team that played those 4 games in a row to end last season. And would we say that that's probably as good as they looked all year? Correct?
Yep.
Was that the outlier? Or
now read the scores from February.
Well, I was about to get into. I was going to tell you.
We don't.
They had a 5-game losing streak in February. They lost to Vanderbilt and Arkansas in there, who were not good teams last year. Let's call it what it is. Now, those games were close. I'll give them that. But they also lost another game to Arkansas. They lost by 15 at home to LSU. They lost against Ole Miss. They were very inconsistent last year. And that's my only thing. And I told someone this. I said, I could absolutely make the argument that I could pick Texas A&M to win the SEC this year. But I said the problem with that is if I'm looking for consistency, I look at what they bring back, and it's a lot of what they had last year. But with a year of experience, maybe I should be more optimistic. But that is the only thing, Max, that's holding me back from going all in just like you, is that this also isn't something that is a one-year thing, right? Look back the previous season. Think about how they started the year of the previous season. They were 6-5. Then, of course, they wind up 25-10, go 15-3 in the SEC. So, I mean, it's just which do you trust? And I don't know. So, not sure.
Well, I'll give you one other thing. Like no team in this conference has got more guys that have played together than this one.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to swear all my life, but I can't imagine anybody. Wade Taylor, Anderson Garcia, Jace Carter, Solo Washington, Henry Coleman III. That's an interesting guy because he was on fire for 2 months and then just kind of disappeared. You know, if they get a rebound out of him, the team looks a little different. Obaseki, Hayden Hefner. I mean, that's a lot of guys. Like in this area where you're struggling a lot of times to find a roster with guys that more than 2 or 3 guys coming back. That's what, 7 or 8 right there, and names that you know if you follow SEC basketball heavily.
Well, people will nag on their slow starts. I mean, if you rewind to this time last year, we had no clue if Julius Marble was going to play or not, and Tyrese Radford was injured.
Yeah.
So, I mean, now you add Farrell Payne, who's one of the best big men in the Big Ten. Jace Carter's got another year 2 in the SEC. Solomon Washington was injured last year.
Hang on, I'm not leaving, by the way. I'm not walking out on Max's filibuster here. I got to let the dog in. Hold on.
Solomon Washington, one of the best defenders in the nation at 6'7", can guard every position. I don't know.
I know what your problem is. This is the conversation where I was going to have this conversation. I didn't know if it was going to need to be me to have it with you or Blake. But when I was watching our man Chris Jan speak today, I thought we're going to have a hard conversation with Max tonight. I don't think it's as hard now. I think he's already broken up with Mississippi State, and he's on like his 3rd date with Texas A&M.
That's accurate.
Yeah. Okay, I feel a little better now because I like that is not the girl that you danced with last year. They were talking about shooting the ball, and we may not be as good defensively. That's going to hurt you to your soul. But
I took Mississippi State dancing to the Final Four last year. I love that.
You did that. We tried to tell you that wasn't a good idea, but
I was having a good time.
All right, so you're dancing with Texas A&M this year.